So I wanted to make a little video as to why Xenogears hasn't been remastered yet, because it kind of bums the shit out of me. I really love Xenogears, and it sucks that it hasn't been remastered. Now, the only, I think the most recent thing involving Xenogears, the game itself, not like any other stuff like Brave Exvius collaborations or stuff like that. I mean, like, the most recent thing that's ever happened with Xenogears as the game itself was when they actually they put it on the PSN store for PlayStation 3. And that's probably the most recent thing they've ever done, which is, I'm surprised they actually went through the fact of like, hey, let's just put Xenogears on PSN. But still, if you have a PS3, you can still get it, but that depends on if you have a PS3. It's not like on modern consoles like, PS4, or Xbox, or Steam, or Switch, or anything like that. Personally, I would have loved it on modern consoles. I feel like, putting it on the PS4 and the Switch and Steam at the very least would actually get more people to, get access to it. I've already given up on Xenosaga at this point, because Katsuhiro Harada, the dude behind Tekken, tried to ask Bandai Namco, who own the rights to Xenosaga as of now, he wanted to ask, hey, can we get HD collection of Xenosaga? And they said, no, it's not profitable enough, which bums the shit out of me. So Xenosaga at this point is a lost cause. And honestly, it sucks because I really believe everybody should just play every Xeno game out there, really. So yeah, Xenosaga is just a lost cause at this point, and that's depressing. But at least Xenogears, I feel like it has a better chance of being remastered than Xenosaga. At least with Xenogears, Square still cares enough about it to actually say, hey, it'd be great to put in put out there. First of all, Xenogears just recently had not recently, my bad, 2 years ago actually had a collaboration with Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. And funny enough, it had a rerun almost a month ago that, they're putting more units in there, which is actually pretty cool to me. They care enough about it to at least put it in Brave Exvius. And on top of that, there's a super boss of Xenogears inside of the game World of Final Fantasy, which is actually pretty interesting. First of all, I love it when Square does that, when they just put bosses from other games in different games like that. They did that same thing with the Schwartz guys from Einhander, and they put it in Kingdom Hearts 3. I just love that shit. But anyway, yeah, I really love Xenogears, and honestly, seeing how Square at least cares enough about it to actually keep referencing it and stuff like that, I really believe they should be able to freaking port the damn game. Hell, games like Live Alive and Chrono Cross are coming back. They even ported a bunch of old Square Enix games over to like modern consoles, like for example Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age, or Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII Remastered, Final Fantasy IX, Final Fantasy X, like just a bunch of games, right? They're doing pixel remasters of Final Fantasy, and granted I'm using a lot of Final Fantasy, games here, but still they were able to do stuff for like Live Alive and Chrono Cross. Honestly, they should port Chrono Trigger over here too. Like Final Fantasy Tactics and Chrono Trigger. Those are the other two Square games I definitely want to see them like mess with. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video, I just want to see Xenogears in some current form. And I really love Xenogears. Honestly, it's like one of those one-of-a-kind JRPGs that even till this day can still be talked about. It's an old series right now. It's old, right? And I feel like the fact that it can still be talked about today, even if it's not much, but the fact that these older games that have like a lot to them that can still be talked about to this day, it's actually a really nice thing to know. Like, people still have discussions about characters, themes, and the music, all that shit. People could still talk about Xenogears to this day and still not know everything, because Tetsuya Takahashi planned Xenogears to be part 5 of a 6-part series, and he tried to do that again with Xenosaga, and that didn't work too well. But still, it's hard to describe what I feel about Xenogears outside of saying it's good, because there's a lot more to it than that. There's a lot more to it that people just won't know if they haven't played the game, and that bums me out. There's only so much I can tell people about Xenogears without them playing it, and really, it really sucks that there's hardly ever a way to play it. There's like literally only 3 options you have. One, you either buy the very expensive physical copies of the original PlayStation 1 version that's floating around the internet somewhere, like on eBay or Amazon, and good luck trying to find a decent copy, because I wanted to get a copy once, and I managed to end up with just disc 1. Xenogears is a 2-disc game, And if you're only able to find one disc, it's pretty much pointless. And you have to find the first disc, or at least that's the point is, yeah, it's really hard to get a physical copy. Those physical copies are expensive these days. Your second option is to have a PS3 and you just download, download the original PS1 version off PSN, and that's pretty much the best option as of now, outside of emulation, because emulation is the third option. But hell, if you want to get it officially, you might as well just get you might as well just boot up your PS3 and just play it. And I feel like honestly it's worth it. But I would have personally loved it if it just was ported to modern consoles and Steam. I really believe that should just be it's a no-brainer right there. I don't know if Square doesn't think it's profitable enough. I don't know if they just don't want to do it. I don't know if there's maybe some legal issues going on. I don't know. I'm not a company man. I can only talk about what I see on the outside. But for me personally, as I mentioned before, I believe that Xenogears has a better chance of being remastered and ported other than Xenosaga, because Xenosaga at this point literally is a lost cause. But I feel like if Square still cares enough about Xenogears enough to talk about it still, in reference in other games to this day, I feel like it should be no brainer to port and remaster. I mean, hell, Square has done lesser games that no one knows of, so I feel like Xenogears of all games should be alright. Maybe call up Tetsuya Takahashi and maybe add some more lore that he couldn't add that's already in like the Xenogears perfect work. Square loves to remaster and re-release and remake their old games. I'm not asking for a Xenosaga remake. I feel like that's a bit too hard to ask for. I would just be happy with just a simple remaster, and like a good remaster, not a remaster that kind of butchers the game. I want a decent remaster, and Square has a semi-decent, okay track record with remastering games. So, they haven't turned out too bad. So, again, just remaster the game, maybe, boot it up with a new soundtrack, recompose soundtrack by Yasunori Mitsuda, stuff like that. Just simple shit that I would want. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Peace out, everyone. Hope you have a great day. And Square Enix, I know you're not gonna watch this, but port Xenogears. Just do it.